Hey guys, girls, and NB homies, I'm that jaywalking punk anarchist, but you can call me Church. Welcome to Church on Monday, the show where I talk at you about shit I like, and this week I obviously really like Red vs. Blue. Now we're gonna get into that, but I do want to start off by saying all the normal shit, subscribe, like, bell, all that shit. I'm also now streaming on Twitch occasionally. You can find me there at its_just_church. Right now I'm just streaming Morrowind, but I may later get into some other old RPGs. I also want to preface this with a few disclaimers. First off, I'm gonna sound pretentious. That's kind of the nature of this. Second off, I have no formal education surrounding the topics that I'm going to be discussing. So I'll probably get some shit wrong. And you are welcome to correct me in the comments down below to educate myself and the audience. And with that statement, I do have to say, I've done no research specifically for the purpose of this video. This is just me spitting out shit on RVB. So, for those of you who clicked on this and don't actually know what Red vs. Blue is, hi, welcome. RVB, or Red vs. Blue, is the longest running machinima web series. Maybe the first, I think so. It started in 2002. And machinima is where one takes the characters in a multiplayer game and bobs their heads up and down and adds voiceover to make their own story and all of that. Red vs. Blue was started by Bernie Burns, who created Rooster Teeth Productions, the company that makes Red vs. Blue and other animated and live-action series. Really, they've been massively successful, and I've been a fan for most of my life, honestly. So today I wanted to take a look at the very first season of Red vs. Blue and take this fun comedy series and just squeeze any ounce of meaning that I can from it. So season 1 starts up with the characters Griff and Simmons on the red team. They're standing at the red base and just doing nothing. So Simmons turns to Griff, and he asks,
Hey, yeah? You ever wonder why we're here?
the most basic question in most of philosophy. And first off, I want to talk about these two characters specifically. So Griff is the lazy guy, the fat one who just eats and doesn't do work around the red team. And Simmons is the nerdy suck-up character who's always licking Sarge's ass. And this is an interesting dynamic because they are opposed to each other, Simmons is far more prone to analytic and militaristic behaviors, whereas Griff is just looking for any excuse to not do shit, which is generally manifested as him seeming lazy and being called lazy by the other characters. But as his answer to Simmons' question highlights immediately off the bat,
It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? I mean, are we the product of some cosmic coincidence, or is there really a God watching everything, with a plan for us and stuff? I don't know, man, but it keeps me up at night.
it actually makes him a deeper thinker and one who actually analyzes the actions of the other characters far more than anyone else in the series.
What? I mean, why are we out here, in this canyon?
And I will be discussing the characters as they come up in the story. Notably, they're all much tamer versions of themselves in this first season, because it's a fucking 17-season series, so there's gonna be fucking Flanderization, and all of these characters are pretty shallow, which is okay. It's fun, and their dynamics are funny, but they are very prone to the Flanderization, the emphasis of their one characteristic to ridiculous degrees throughout the series. But we have this discussion between Griff and Simmons, and it is interrupted by Sarge announcing that they got a new vehicle that he calls the Warthog.
May I introduce our new light reconnaissance vehicle? This is the M12 LRV. I like to call it the Warthog.
Now, Griff, looking at it, suggests that it be called a Puma instead because the shape of it looks more like a Puma than a Warthog.
Why Warthog? I mean, it doesn't really look like a pig. I think it looks more like a Puma.
And if we look at the symbolism for each of those animals, a warthog symbolizes protection and sustenance, and sometimes clarity, because it's the watering hole animal. But a puma also represents protection, just through skill and cunning. So it does kind of highlight the differences between Sarge and Griff. Then we pan over to Leonard Church and Lavernius Tucker, the two warriors on the side of the blue team, watching this entire exchange from a cliff. And Church is watching it through the scope of a sniper rifle. This sets up that Tucker never gets to look through the sniper rifle. And when these two get back to Blue Base, it's revealed that they received a tank and a rookie.
Hey, kid.
Yeah?
You're ruining the moment. You know what? I could blow up the whole goddamn world with this thing.
And the tank is named a Scorpion tank. And to get back on animal symbolism, the scorpion is a sign of, like, death, but it's also a sign of, like, sex and lust, which comes into play later when one who seems to be attracted to machines is actually the cause of a prominent death. One of my neighbors is screaming. Okay. And, you could get into the whole cycle of sex and death. That's very prominent in, I believe, Jungian psychology. It's probably fucking Freud or some shit. I don't know. But they meet the rookie, Michael J. Caboose, and they're annoyed by him because he's dumb. So they send him into the base to protect the flag. Then we learn that Red Team also got a new recruit.
Okay, rookie. What's your story? Arrive at Donut, reporting for duty, sir.
And they're also annoyed by him, so they send him off to the store to pick up headlight fluid and elbow grease.
How stupid do they think I am? Once I get back to base with that headlight fluid, I'm going to talk to the sergeant.
So he finds the only other building in this box canyon, and he assumes that's the store. So he goes into the blue base and just asks for the flag.
All we have is the flag. Well, I can't go back empty-handed. I guess I'll take that. Sure. That makes sense. I guess. Man, they're going to give me so much shit for coming back with just this stupid flag.
And that fucking works. Caboose doesn't know what the fuck he's supposed to do, so he's just like, okay, cool, take the flag. So he takes the flag, which is apparently the point of this entire conflict, and he starts running back to Red Base. Now, Church and Tucker find out that the flag has been taken, and they start pursuing him. So this gets everyone riled up into conflict. They run after him and end up pinned down on the cliffs by Simmons and the Warthog. But luckily, they just got a rookie and a tank. And so Caboose takes the tank out, set in tutorial mode, and he decides to try to go save Church and Tucker.
You may call me Sheila.
Hello. Sheila? Big tank lady?
Would you like me to run the tutorial program?
Oh, that'd be very nice. Thank you.
He drives the tank up to the cliff, and in tutorial mode, it accidentally locks on to Church and fucking kills him.
Firing main cannon.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What? Oh, son of a...
So Church is dead, and they're back down to 2 people, and neither of them know how to drive a fucking tank. So they call command where we're introduced to this character, Vic. Now, Vic is not very present in this, but he's a fun character in the later seasons.
Roger that, Blood Gulch. What is your request?
I don't know what the technical military term is for it, but we're pretty fucked up down here. We need men.
Dude, how long have you guys been down there?
No, not like that. We need more men to help us.
So Vic is like, okay, I can send out a freelancer. And if you're a fan of the series, freelancer is a very loaded word. But here, initially, it just means mercenary. So they send out Tex, this badass, black-clad mercenary, to help the blue team. And Church's ghost appears and warns Tucker not to trust Tex. He talks about how she's infected by an AI that makes her highly aggressive. So, oh, and I forget, they initially introduce her as a man.
Where are you going?
Red base. Kill everybody. Get the flag back.
There is some interesting gender dynamics within this series that I may get into, between Tex and analyzing the sexuality of Donut. There could be some interesting things in there, so we'll see if we get into that. But Tex has active camo and this badass AI, and she goes over, gets captured by the red team after severely injuring Donut and sending him to command to get medical attention. But she's there captured, and Church's ghost appears and possesses Sarge's body.
They're definitely special ops. I ain't seen troop movements this coordinated since my days on site.
To help Tex escape. And he actually runs out with Tex and gets sniped by Caboose.
We're gonna be best friends.
All right, I'll make one more distraction, then you run up to the teleporter and escape. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What the? Where did my body go?
Sarge is dead and he doesn't know why. And Griff revives him from this bullet wound to the head by giving him extremely effective CPR.
You gotta breathe, man! You gotta pull through! Come on, Sarge!
That is not the way you were trained to do that, Private.
Donut comes back, and he now has pink armor, or as he prefers it called, lightish red.
Dude, this is sweet. Command was so happy that I got the blue flag, they gave me my own color armor.
Some other conflicts happen until Tex is taken out by the red team, and her AI is transmitted via the radio.
It's gone, Church. The AI, it's gone. Thank you.
To Caboose, now calling himself O'Malley.
I told you, my name isn't Caboose.
My name is O'Malley.
And that's basically season 1 of Red vs. Blue. And I do want to say, now that we're done with the summary, that yes, both does not have an L in it.
There's no L in it. It's pronounced both.
That's what I'm saying. Both.
Both.
You sound like such an ass the way you say it.
Now, what does this all mean? What are the writers trying to say with this specific story? Honestly, they just thought it was a funny fucking premise to make good jokes. And it is really fucking funny. It even still holds up.
Go ahead and hop in, Tucker.
Me? I can't drive that thing.
You're telling me you're not armor certified?
I don't even know how to use the fucking sniper rifle. Don't you know how to drive that?
No? Holy crap! Who is running this army?
There's nothing that dates it terribly, like all the F-slurs in Waiting that just kind of sours the whole movie for you nowadays. It's still a pretty good watch. I highly recommend the series, and I think you should start at season 1, because as much as they repurpose the language and the scenarios in season 1 to make more sense in the narrative that they set up for the later seasons, they do a lot of pretty good work on that. they don't analyze the actual philosophical implications of any of it. So that's what I'm here for. So step one, I want to talk about the flag. Basically, the heart of the whole conflict.
They didn't tell us anything about a flag. Why is it so important?
Because it's the flag, man. You know, it's the flag. Tucker, you tell them why the flag is so important.
Well, it's complicated. It's blue, we're blue.
It's just important, okay? Trust us.
It shows an obsession with symbolism between these two essentially hyper-nationalistic teams, and it effectively portrays that idea of, frankly, fascism through the tropes and cliches of online matchmaking. And I think that's fun. But they don't really analyze it. The nature of even the title, Red versus Blue, is inherently a simple phrase that can easily be used to demonize an other.
The only reason that we set up a red base here is because they have a blue base over there. And the only reason they have a blue base over there is because we have a red base here.
Yeah, that's because we're fighting each other.
And in this conflict, personal identity is actually kind of erased. For example,
It's pink. Your armor is freaking pink.
Yeah, that's it. Pink.
Donut's joy at getting new armor that's not the standard red, like Sarge's, is just totally neutralized when Griff and Simmons let him know that it's pink, and that's gay, so that's a problem. But the truth is, Donut is gay. At least he's portrayed to be within the whole series. But the rest of the red team is aggressively asexual. It's kind of weird, but it's full on Semper Fi. Like, all they give a shit about is this conflict, whether it's Simmons trying to glorify himself to Sarge, or Griff trying to avoid the conflict. Everything they do is surrounding the blues. And this kind of gets into the glorification of the character's strength and death in combat, as portrayed through Tex and Church, their relationship.
You know, I don't really see how not killing somebody is the same thing as doing them a favor.
Well, if you don't appreciate it, I could just kill you right now.
No, you can't. I'm already dead, bitch. I guess the joke's on you.
Stop it! Stop fighting! Can't you see that you're tearing us apart?
Where Tex is hyper-competent and very violent, she's in a relationship with Church, who actually dies in battle. So it kind of symbolizes the marriage of those concepts, violence and death. But those are just kind of ideas within the series. What's the overarching philosophy of the series? And I think it's pretty simple if you look at this as a myth of Sisyphus thing. These guys are heroes of the absurd. Now, I think the series actually sequentially explains the progression from Kierkegaardian existentialism, why are we here, to Nietzsche's nihilism, there is literally no point to this conflict, all the way to Camus' hero of the absurd. They still fucking cling to life and find meaning in this meaningless conflict. Every time they make a maneuver within this battle, they roll the boulder up, and then almost immediately, it always rolls back down. Their plans are always fucking pointless. They don't actually get anything done, because none of them know what they're fucking fighting about. Apparently it's the flag, but that's literally just a symbol. They could easily just not give a shit about it. But they do imbue it with their own meaning.
It's blue, we're blue.
And so I believe that at least season 1 is a tale of the absurd. And I like that reading a lot. It's not intended at all. Of course, I'm squeezing meaning like I'm really fucking reaching in there and trying to pull anything out. But it's fun to do, and if any of you guys have any better ideas on what it means, if you didn't even consider any of this and just found it interesting to hear me talk out my ass for, oh fuck, this is gonna be a long video, let me know down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. I already did all that shit, so watch me on Twitch. I don't have a schedule, I just do it occasionally, so drop me a follow there, and I stream at pretty reasonable times, so if you want to see me there, twitch.tv/it's_just_church. But now, as always, I hope you have a fantastic week. Love ya. Bye.
In love, in need, in want, in miss, I taste your bite, I taste your kiss, and I think back the things you said, they make me mad, a bowl too red, and I wonder where you are, and I wonder what you wore, and I'm lost inside a bar, and I'm drunk inside a war, and I wonder where you are. Drinking martinis by myself Sunday morning, drinking martinis again Sunday evening. It's a half-life, it's a half-life, it's a half-life. It's a half-life, it's a half-life, it's a half-life. I buy your brand, I smoke your brand, I count the what ifs on one hand.